Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning to everyone. So today we would like to present our topic, which is Communication and Multimedia Act 1998. Our members is Siti Khadijah binti Nur Hisham, which is me, and Nailul Saada binti Saudi. First of all, we need to know what is Communication and Multimedia Act 1998. It is an act regarding cyber law and is formed as a framework for the intervention of the Malaysian government in monitoring the communication and multimedia industry. Next, we need to know the background of Act. This Act was enacted on October 15 and received a general approval on September 23, 1998. It came into force on 1st April 1999. This Act is the most extended cyber law among the 6 cyber law enacted in Malaysia so far. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commissions (MCMC) was established under the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Act of 1998 as a regulatory body for Malaysia's communications and multimedia industries in Malaysia. At the same time, the Communication and Multimedia Act 1998 was drafted and approved to meet the regulatory requirements of the growing convergence of communications and multimedia industries. Next, the activities and services regulated under this Act include traditional broadcasting, telecommunications and online services, the facilities and networks used to provide those services and the content supplied through those facilities and networks. However, no provisions in this Act that allows internet censorship. Under the MSC, Malaysia Bill of Guarantees, the Malaysian government has pledged not to censor the internet. Next, objectives of Act, emphasizing the basic principles of transparency and clarity, promoting competition and self-regulation, flexibility, and tending towards general principle rules. This Act aims to provide a set of regulatory provisions based on generic definition of the market and activities of the communication and multimedia industry.
Next, we move to the abuse of social media. The Malaysia Communication and Multimedia Commission (MCMC) has taken action against 4 who had misused social media when a total of 48 accusations have been filed in court for the period between January and September 2020. From the total of 48, 34 accused involve offences committed under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act, AKM 1998. With the act of sharing or disseminating obscene content recorded the highest number of 22 accusations. This was followed by 9 counts of malicious content and 3 counts of fake content. The table shows the number of social media use offences between January and September 2020. Communication and Multimedia Act 1998. Document analysis revealed that this act is enforced by implementing parties such as MCMC. This Act, which has a total of 282 sections, also includes 2 sections dealing with cybersecurity named Section 211 and 233. Section 211 states that an individual or content application service provider would not provide indecent, obscene, fake, and threatening with the intent of harassing, disturbing, abusing, or threatening any person. Based on this provision, it is clear that activities such as cyberbullying, pornography, virus spreading, defamation, or fake news are offences under this section, and if they violate Section 211, they can be fined and imprisoned under Section 211, which is fined not more than 50,000 or imprisonment of not more than 1 year. Following that, an administrator or member of WhatsApp, Telegram, or WeChat group would be actionable under the same section if they commit an offences as defined in this section. Next, we move to the case study of the Act. Case study 1. 2 men are guilty of breaking the law of communication and multimedia. 2 men were brought before the Taiping Criminal Sessions Court recently for various offences involving violations of the country's communication and multimedia legislation. Citing sources from the Communication and Multimedia Commission, Bernama reported that in the first case, the accused, Nur Imran Kusairi Ibrahim, 39 years old, was charged under Section 233 of the Communication and Multimedia Act 1998. He was found guilty of sending a threatening communication with the intention of threatening a woman working as a factory operator on 13 May 2016 in Kuala Kurau, Perak. Case study number 2, PRU 15. Police investigate allegations of defamatory speech by PN contender. The police of Perak have opened an investigation paper regarding allegations that Perikatan Nasional candidate in the Gunung Semanggut State Legislative Assembly Razman Zakaria delivered a slanderous and malicious speech against Pakatan Harapan. Perak Police Chief Datuk Muhammad Yusri Hassan Basri said the investigation was conducted in accordance with Section 505B of the Penal Code and Section 233 Communications and Multimedia 1998. Case study number 3. Uploading bad content, famous actor alleged today. A famous actor in the country is expected to be charged in the Sepang Sessions Court today. It is believed to be related to the act of the artist uploading controversial content on social media. Prosecution will be carried out in accordance with Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. The 36-year-old model turned actor faces a fine of up to 50,000 or a year's imprisonment or both if convicted.
Next, let us continue with the issues for the Act. The amendment of the Act by the Cabinet was approved by all parties. On 27 August 2022, the Cabinet agreed that Act 588 and Act 589 be amended to provide stronger legal provisions in the face of cybersecurity threats. In a report on the RTM News Portal, Minister of Communications and Multimedia, Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the proposed amendment was presented to the Cabinet yesterday and was approved. Next, reaction to the government's attitude to amend the Communication and Multimedia Act. On 11 January 2023, Parti Amanah Sabah, in a report on the Malaysia Deadline Portal, regretted the government's attitude of suspended the use of Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998 in investigations and prosecutions because this section oppresses the people. The Sri Mahamariamman temple incident is one example of how fake news and racism have been successful in inciting the wrath of the populace. In the meantime, they also express their unhappiness when they observe that society is now widely distributing false information and racism online. Amanah Sabah further argued that Section 233(1)(a) of Act 588 is a legitimate law that Parliament enacted in order to impose restrictions on the freedom of speech and expression that it believed were necessary and appropriate to protect the interests of public order and morals. This legislative action also fits the goal that Parliament is trying to accomplish. For our additional information, how to use never and ever. Ever means at any time, while never means at no time in the past or at no time in the future. We often use ever and never with the present perfect, but they can also be used with the other verb tense. Here we include the example. In US English, never and ever are common with the past simple tense, but this is less common in UK English. That's all from us. Thank you. That's all from us. Thank you.